Hello everyone, Moisa here and welcome back to another video. So obviously my hair's still in braids. I did do my makeup today. It's a little darker than I normally go because I always typically just do like pink and yellow. And today I did like dark blue and I tried to lighten it up a little bit with some red of my palettes that I don't like. And speaking of palettes I don't like, today we're doing a fun video called My Least Favorite Palettes and I will be ranking them. That is not the title. So hi everyone, today we're going to be ranking my least favorite palettes. And so we're going to go from the one I detest the least to the one I detest the most. And I have been using all of these palettes for, well, okay, so the newest one I got about 2 weeks ago. And then everything else I have had for about half a year, almost a full year at this point. So it's fully like I've been using a lot of these for most of the time, and so like obviously I can give like a good overall feedback. So the first one that is my less detested, the one I hate the least, is the Mini Controversy palette. The reason this is on my not favorites is just because I really thought I could get more use out of this palette, but I can only really get a lot of similar looks. I can't really use like My Boyfriend's Purse, Cry on My Couch, or Diet Root Beer a lot, and then Flat Earth looks a little bit ashy on me sometimes. But then like Exposed is like meh, but a lot of these colors, like specifically Flat Earth and Exposed, they kind of are very powdery and they disappear on my lid really quick. Like the colors that really stay on the longest are My Apology and The Simulation. As you can tell, My Apology is the one that I use the most just because it lasts the longest on me. But I like a lot of these colors are either ashy on me, don't really show because like they're brownish tones, and like the only colors I really get to use are Controversy, My Apology. I do use The Simulation and Cancel just because I feel like those blues are dark enough for my skin tone, but everything else is a little just try-harding it. And it may just be because I'm not like that good at makeup, but out of all the palettes I have here of my least favorites, I think this one works the best just because it's better formula than most of the other ones. So it does stay on, except a few don't, because a lot of them, like a few of them kind of just like disappear off my face throughout the day, and so that's why it's my least detested, just because it shows up for the most part. The next one is the Zodiac Aquarius palette. So I actually own a multitude of these, and I will say I don't love the mini Zodiacs. I'm a collector of palettes, so I will be so real about that. So obviously I'm going to keep collecting them. Right now I think I have Pisces, Aquarius, and what's the really boring one that has all the browns? That one. I have that one too. So this one works. Obviously I'm wearing it today, but it also has the same issue as the Controversy palette where it really does like disappear throughout the day. So by the end of the night, like maybe one of my eyes, it's going to be like back to the normal color, and it's like, what's the point of putting on all this makeup if it doesn't stay on my eye? And for those of you who want to see the color story, here is this color story. So if you're someone who wears a lot of blues, this might be really nice for you. There's 2 browns, and then there's a different raging shades of blue. There's mostly shimmers in this, so if you don't like shimmer, I wouldn't recommend it, because obviously the 2 browns are matte, and then we have 2 blues that are matte, and then the other 4 are shimmer. So yeah, and that's the one I used today on my eyes. So if you like my eyes, it's from this palette. So that's why it's like my second least like, because it shows up but it disappears throughout the day, which isn't what you want from your makeup. Also, my brows today look good. Like I did something. Oh my gosh. Okay, next is another BH Cosmetics palette, and I've talked about the Digital Future one before. I really like all the colors. The issue is it doesn't work on someone with my complexion. but here's what it looks like. I primarily use the pink and the purple just because they show up on my skin color. The other colors are very like nude, and like that doesn't work with me because they just kind of ends up looking ashy. So that's kind of why it's so low. Like the colors actually work, the bright ones, but the colors that are too light, it's not worth it. Like even if like this goes on sale for like $6, because that's typically I think how low palettes can get on BH Cosmetics, it's just not gonna be worth it because the pigmentation of it for someone of my complexion, it's just not good enough, you know? Next, COLORSTORY. So this one is my least detested from COLORSTORY, and I will say it's because of how many colorful colors they have. Definitely the colorfulness of this palette really helps. It has a lot of like really bright tones, and those bright tones kind of help just showing up on my face, you know what I mean? Obviously the COLORSTORY, it's there. It's a really nice COLORSTORY. I really like it. There are a lot of like ashy shades, but the issue with like COLORSTORY for me right now is like the ashy shades, it's not that they show up. They don't show up. Like that's the issue. Like yes, ashy is not a good color, but like the fact that they don't show up at all is like an issue for me. But yeah, the colorful ones, I do use Maui a lot. I use it as a blush sometimes because I don't have a blush up here. And I do use Lushly, which is a deep red. I use the Sapphire Sky. I don't really do a lot of blues, but obviously with these palettes, there's a lot of blues, so I use them because they show up on my skin color, you know. But yeah, I like the palette. I just wish that it worked well on me, you know. The next one is the COLORSTORY palette I've been using the longest, and this is the Tropical Glow. This is the one my mom bought for my video for Mom Picks My Makeup, and here is the COLORSTORY. Obviously, it's seen better days because it's been used a lot, and so this one I have the most experience with. I've talked about it a lot, but I feel as though like the yellow, like Sun Ray and Daybreak and Skinny Dip and Getaway, so that's the orange and yellow, don't work at all. Like do not use them. And then I feel like Lush and the pink and the darker colors work really well on me. The purple is iffy. Like some days it works, some days it doesn't, and I don't understand. The green works pretty well on my complexion as well. Coconut, don't use coconut if you're a person of color. Like it's not even worth it. So yeah, so that's kind of like this palette. Like I don't hate that some of it shows up. I just wished that it worked. I feel like that's the consensus with all these palettes. I just wished that they worked because they don't for a person of color, and that's very annoying. Next, I insult these a lot, but the New View palette. So this one's higher up than its counterpart because I do use this more, primarily for like these 3 shades and sometimes this shade, these 2 shades up here, but that's really it. I hate their pressed pigmenty colors because obviously there's like giant stars in them, and like someone's not doing well. They're really giant stars, and sometimes the giant stars are nice, but other times it's kind of like no, because you can't place them where you want to because it's like it's such a weird application. And then this color was meant to be like the most interesting one, and it's just purple that is like a mixture of like a shimmer but also like one of these pressed sort of colors, and I don't enjoy it. Also doesn't have a mirror, which is just really inconvenient. Like if I have to travel with this, I need something with a mirror as well to be able to use it out. Like at least all of the other ones I've shown have a mirror that I can use, and it's helpful in that sense, but yeah, I don't really like this. And next is our 7th place, and this, my friends, is the Decadence Palette. The Decadence Palette is literally a dream COLORSTORY for me. Well, almost. It needs a little bit more editing to be a dream COLORSTORY for me. So the issue with these, as you can imagine, is there's ashy colors, okay? There's colors that won't show up, okay? And then there's like the few that I use often that show up on my skin tone. I've been using this palette for 4 months at this point, and that's just really the issue. Like, some colors show up, some colors don't, and then there's ashiness. This also fades throughout the day, so it doesn't really stay on my eye. So again, why am I buying a palette and if the makeup doesn't stay on my face? Also, this was a gift, so whoever gifted this to me, thank you so much. But also, this palette could do so much better. 8th is the second Nuvu palette. This one has more of that pressed glitter, pressed pigmenty vibe, as well as a lot of ashiness. A lot of ashiness doesn't appear on my skin tone colors. Can you see it? Can you? No. Yeah, no. Obviously, I've used the glitters the most just because they actually show up. It's just the issue with it's a glitter and glitters annoy me. As I get more into makeup, glitters just start to annoy me. Like, if I want a glitter, I will just buy a thing of glitter. But yeah. If you're someone lighter than me and you really like glitters, iffy. I haven't used this one a lot. Obviously, you can see a lot of these look like untouched besides like swatches and doing like 2 or 3 makeup looks, whereas the other one you can see that I've actually used, or at least attempted to use all the colors, but this one's just not worth it. Like, again, also no mirror. The last one. This is not a surprise. It is my newest palette. I've used this for almost 3 weeks. I hate this. Hate this. Hate this. So this is the Crop Beauty Coco Paradise palette. In theory, nice. In actuality, not nice. I've done like 3 videos where I've had this palette on. I've primarily used this row. This purple goldy thing does nothing for me. This is a little ashy. This is the best color of this palette for someone like me, and it also takes a lot of work to build up, as you can see when I tried this palette for the first time. These are all the skin color. These are there, and then there's like a miscellaneous green that looks gray on my skin tone because why not? So yeah, that is my least favorite palette. And that's those are all 9 palettes that I don't like at all. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. But today's makeup look, if you're wondering, was made using my BH Cosmetics Aquarius palette. It is also using my Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pencil. It's using my Beauty Bakery eyeliner, which I am in love with. If you get something from Beauty Bakery, please get their eyeliner. It is... I also have been trying to use their contour. Obviously, the darker contour doesn't really show up, but the blush is there, and the highlight is really a natural highlight. So if you want something that's not too much, I will say get that, but use it with a very light hand because it like gets pigmented pretty fast. And my lips are using my least favorite lip product right here. I have it. It looks like an imitation of like Kylie lip kits, doesn't it? But this is the Crop Beauty Lip Brulee High Shine Lip Cream. It's just not my skin tone. When I was looking through everything, I thought I chose something that was more matching to my complexion. I obviously did not, so it could just be a me issue, but it's also really drying and it looks really gray on me. I literally put another lip color on top of it to make it a little bit more pink. So yeah, and then obviously currently my least favorite eyeliner is the No Budge Retractable Eyeliner, and that's because, one, it was so thick. It's so thick. Which it's not fun to get a wing with such a thick liner. It's not. All right, so these are just like 2 bonus like things I dislike because they are like next to me. But yeah, so if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. We will be doing favorites videos when I'm back in Florida at the end of this month. I'm super excited to start using my good makeup again. I miss them so much. And I'm really excited to add some of my favorites from up here because obviously Beauty Bakery really came in clutch with the 2 products that I got from them. Anastasia Beverly Hills, you're on to something. You're helping me do better with my brows, so you're on to something. And then Tarte, I didn't use it today. I used my BH Cosmetics concealer as my whole face. That's why my face is a little bit more orangey because it's a more orange tinted concealer, but I really like it. If I can get one that is not for red undertones, it would be perfect on me. I need to like do better at that. And then I hate the Tarte mascara. I don't like it, but I do like their Shape Tape, so I will give them that. So yeah, this is my, I guess, my April nays. I was gonna say Slays and Nays, but that's like a smoky glow thing. I don't know what to name kind of like my favorites and not favorites. I'm still thinking about names for that. But yeah. Alright, if you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know down below what is your least favorite and most favorite palette from the brands that I talked about today. And so just as a recap, I talked about Crop Beauty, I talked about COLORSTORY, I talked about BH Cosmetics, which I love a lot of their palettes, so you don't even need to like let me know. But you know, let me know. I'll buy more. I don't mind buying more BH Cosmetics at all. And He Who Shall Not Be Named will not be named. And Etsy makeup, if you want me to do more Etsy makeup. I am looking into buying more, so I won't mind some recommendations either. Bye!